Hello guys, and welcome back to another Retro Keyword video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a Minecraft any% setseed glitchless speedrun. You can see it on my timer there, the whole title if you didn't catch it all. But basically, I'm going to be trying to beat Minecraft as fast as I can, and I use a setseed, which means the world is always going to be the same, and I don't use glitches. That's basically what that means. This is my 124th attempt. I got my best, which you can see is 21 minutes, 17 seconds there. I got that on like the 25th attempt, so I've been at this for a while trying to get this video out. So the first thing I do is I load up the world, and then I just sort of wait here, because the first time you load up a world, it's really, really laggy at the beginning. Whereas if I load up the world, exit out, and come back in, then there's a lot less lag. So what I do is I load up the world, don't move, and you can see I kind of broke that a little in the beginning and started to move. But now I load up the world and start my timer as soon as the world loads here, and then I will start the run. So you can see I'm going to start it right now. So the timer started, and like I said, I didn't finish this run, but the Ender Dragon, it was so close, and I've been at this for 100 attempts, and an attempt could just be like I got to the nether and died and then started over. That could count as an attempt, or I just got really unlucky with a flint, so I started over, or something like that, and you'll see what I mean later. But the first thing I do in this run is I come to this specific tree and punch down 4 pieces. Now, normally you don't like to leave a tree floating in the air. Don't do that. People will hate you on anything you're playing because it looks dumb to have floating trees like that, but you have to do it here because you don't need any more wood now, and it just takes time to get, and obviously you want to do it as fast as you can. So the next thing I do is I get 4 logs, or I take my logs and craft a crafting bench and a pickaxe, and because I know the world, I know that this cave was right here, and I know that if I dig out these specific 3 blocks, then there will be iron behind it, like there is, and then if you keep going, there's a little bit more iron back there, and I know there's flint in this cave, or gravel, and all because I just know what the world is, and I've been on it many times now, and I know where everything is. You do for this run need 6 iron. Any more than that you get is for armor, or weapons, or anything, and I do use armor and things for the run, because I lose a lot less runs that way. It would probably take me 500 attempts if I didn't get armor every time. But, yeah, so now I went back, I got all that, and I specifically mined out a little bit more cobblestone, because I need 14 to make all of my tools and furnace that I need. So you can see I'm making all of my tools now, organizing my hotbar a little bit, which does take time, but in the end for me is worth it, because when I'm organized, I know where things are better, so I can get it. We immediately start the furnace smelting our iron, so that we don't have to wait later. Like I said, we need 6 for this, and you'll see what those are for later. Now I mine out this gravel, and I really need a flint here. So you can see that that's really all I'm trying to get right now is flint. So generally, a really lucky amount of flint is like 9. And when I get 9, the most flint I will ever use is 9. But when, I'd say on average, I get about 5. And anything less than that's pretty bad. But I will use this for arrows later, and 1 for flint and steel, which is what I need 1 of the iron for. So you'll see that in a second. I get a little bit more iron. You can see there's a little bit in the cave, because my furnace still has to smelt a little bit more, and I have time now, so I get this iron. And you can see we're already 3 minutes in, and I've pretty much got all of the stuff out of this cave that I need. So now I'll craft up some stuff. I'll craft a bucket for a bucket, shears, and flint and steel. Now, the shears I will leave as a surprise. Actually, there is one point which you'll see, but I'll leave one of the main uses for shears as a surprise until the end. The bucket of water is extremely helpful. You need it, 1, to make a nether portal. And also, when you get into the end, if you anger an enderman, all you do is pour water on it, and the enderman won't be angry at you anymore, which is way faster and way easier than killing it. So it has saved me many times in the end. I can't even tell you. But So it is very important. And then we're shearing sheep here. And that's what I'm going to leave as a surprise until the end. Why? Just think about it. And if you've seen any other Minecraft speedruns, they will have told you, or again, waited until the end like I am, for the surprise ending. But, yeah, it seems like a pretty weird idea in a Minecraft speedrun to get beds. But I'll let you wait and see. So anyway, we continue. I light these pigs on fire before I kill them, because if you don't know, killing an animal while it's on fire gives you cooked meat. So, cooked meat, it just means we don't have to smelt it, so I can kill less pigs that way. So, here I only got 4 meat, and I really would have liked more than that. So I tried to set this chicken on fire and kill it, but I lost the meat. And then I was going to do the same to this one, but I decided against it. And then I just killed the chicken to get the feathers, because you need feathers for arrows. And I'm killing him with my axe, too, because you can one-hit kill a chicken with an axe. And it doesn't use any durability, or it doesn't use any of the durability of the sword. So, the axe, the only thing you use it for is cutting down one more tree and picking up your crafting table a couple times. So, here I ate a piece of meat, and I like to be a little under 5 minutes here. And as you can see, I wasn't. So I was a little bit slower than what I would have liked to be here. But it all turned out okay, because I was actually a little bit ahead going into the nether. So you can see on my timer there, I have 6 minutes, 46 seconds. That's the time it took me to get into the nether on my fastest run. So, the time that I got 21 minutes, 17 seconds, it took me 6 minutes, 46 seconds to get into the nether. So it will just show me a comparison later. So now I use my shears to get leaves, and you can see how fast that I'm getting them. It's basically because when you get to the end, you need blocks to pillar from the island you spawn on to the big island. And they're just really fast to gather, so that's why you get those. And now you can see that I'm making another portal here. So I place the water like this, and then I get lava and place it in this pattern. And I will make another portal, and then I will get rid of the water, and I will go to the nether. So you can see a little over 6 minutes here, and we're about to enter the nether. You can see there's like a countdown timer going on now. I get some stuff ready on my hotbar and inventory while the water's disappearing, and then I light the nether portal, and I go into the nether, and you can see I made it to the nether in this time in 6 minutes, 45 seconds. That's 1 second faster than the time I got 21 minutes, 17 seconds. So, now the nether is building, and this part is always, I hate this part because I always feel like it's loading really slow, and it really is. I think it's like 30 seconds or something that it takes to load. But then, the nether loads, and here is one of the randomest parts. If you get a lot of wither skeletons or blaze here, you pretty much are just gonna die, and then you have to reset. So, it's really terrible. Here I was getting a lot of lag, though, and I always do get lag when I go into the nether, but here I was getting more than usual. And whenever I get more than usual lag, I just assume there's a lot of wither skeletons, because normally that's when I get a lot of lag. But here there was only one wither skeleton, which I thought was in a different spot than it was. So it actually didn't even bother me. It was the blaze up there I was worried about. And the whole reason we're coming to the nether is to get 2 blaze rods, because we need them to make the Eyes of Ender. So I was going to kill that blaze, but because the wither skeleton was nearby, I didn't want to chance it. So I instead just went to the blaze spawner, which is up here. And I know it's up here because the world always stays the same. Now that blaze actually hit me, so I got nervous that it was going to hit me into the lava, but it only set me on fire, so I knew I was going to be fine. So here I come up to the blaze spawner, which I knew was here, and I create a sort of pattern with a netherrack. Now this one, I'm not sure who came up with this, but it is great for basically if you stand in one certain spot. I might stand there in a second. Here, right there. Then basically all the blaze in the room can see you there. So you want them to see you so that they'll come towards you so that you can kill them. Here I'm placing down the gravel and mining it back up because of that flint that I just put on my hotbar. I want to get more of that. I was hoping for about 7, or really I'd like to get 8 in an ideal world. But generally, most people do it on like 6, but I generally run out of arrows on 6, so I wanted to have 7 at least. So I placed down some more and started to grab it, but then the blaze came down, so I started to kill it. And I got a blaze rod, which was pretty lucky. I forget what the chances are, but it's, I know it's lucky to get one. And I got 2 off of 2 blaze, which, I was really excited about because that means I didn't have to wait for any more. That again is one of the biggest sections of luck because you can kill a blaze, like 15 blaze, not get any blaze rods, and then they take a while to spawn in between. And it's random how fast they spawn, so you can kill a bunch, not get any blaze rods, and then get unlucky, and then no more will come. So there's a lot of luck involved there, but I got super lucky, so I just picked up my furnace, and I left the nether. So 9 minutes 55 seconds in, we're leaving the nether. And I'm 8 minutes ahead of, sorry, not 8 minutes, 8 seconds ahead of my, the time that I got 21 minutes, 17 seconds. That was my personal best. So I'm 8 seconds ahead of my personal best right now. So now I make my armor, my bucket. I make a boat because we're going to go across like a little lake, and it just makes for faster travel. I put the leaves on my hotbar because they're my blocks and I'm going to need them. Then I pick up my crafting table with my pickaxe, shovel, and then I finally switch to my axe. Here I pick up some water along the way. I forgot this a couple times, and it's, my runs generally end with an enderman whenever I forget the water. Yeah, in this run, I'm kinda don't want to spoil it, but I'm also just gonna tell you. So I was basically so flustered with the ender dragon, trying to kill it, and I just really wanted to kill it fast so I could get a fast time. So I was placed to bed and blew it up way too early because or was it late? I can't even remember. But I basically was just really flustered, so I placed it down, and then I did the same thing again, and I was at low hearts, and then the ender dragon killed me. So, but again, it was super close, and I wasn't going to get a personal best even if I did kill it, but it still would have been nice to because I haven't finished a run in a long time. So here, I was really hoping that boat would break, and I'd pick up the sticks and things, because if you have a lot of arrows, or flint, I should say, and you have a lot of wool, then you need a bunch of wood to make the beds, which, again, you'll see what those are for, or actually I just spoiled it, but I'm gonna make beds, and you just basically need a lot of wood, and if that boat would break, then I'd get the wood from it, so it'd be really useful, but I didn't, so I actually have to resort to picking up some of the library later, because right now I'm making my way to the stronghold, and again, because I know the world, I know exactly where it is, so I'm just going through this cave into the stronghold, which will be right here. So now I'm in the stronghold, and you might notice that I don't have any Eyes of Ender. In the end portal frame in this world, there's 4 Eyes of Ender missing from the frame, which is really lucky, and that's part of what makes this world so great. But also, there's chests that are scattered all around the stronghold, and what do you know? There's 4 Eyes of Ender, or not Eyes of Ender, Ender Pearls in the chest. But in order to make Eyes of Ender, you need Ender Pearls and you need Blaze Powder. That's why we go to the end and I get that 4 Blaze Powder there. So, 2 Blaze Rod, they each make 2 Blaze Powder, so that's 4 Blaze Powder. And now I get some of this string because and I get some string to make a bow. I place down my crafting table, and here I do like a big crafting session. I make the Eyes of Ender. I make beds. Again, can you guess what they're used for yet? Now here you can see that I made 7 beds, but I don't have any more wood for sticks, so I actually pick up some wood from the library here, and I use those to make sticks, and then I have just enough sticks to make a bow and my arrows. There's 7 arrows, I have 8 sticks, so I have 1 stick left over, which is, it's good. If I had 1 more piece of flint, that would have made it better, though. I could have had 4 more arrows, but I turned out not needing them anyway, so I organize my hotbar here. This, again, is really important for me, and you might be able to do it faster without organizing your hotbar, but when I'm organized, I'm not so flustered trying to do stuff, so I organize my hotbar there. It takes like 10 seconds or something, but it's worth it in the end. I eat, and now you can see I'm actually losing time here, and now I'm behind by 2 seconds, 3 seconds, so I'm 3 seconds behind now. So if I just know if I get a lucky end and I get good AI on the dragon, then I'm going to be good. So here's what makes going over to the island dangerous. You can see the ender dragon just like ran at me basically. It's called charging. And if she does that, then she knocks you off and you die in the void. So you have to predict when she's going to do that. So you can see her health bar in the top there. See how that just disappeared? That means she's far away from me. So if her health bar is not there, I know she's not charging me. So whenever her health bar disappears, I rush to the island as fast as I can. And then whenever her health bar appears, I look back and get my bow and arrow ready to shoot her from charging me. Because if she's charging you and you shoot her with a bow and arrow, she generally leaves like this. You can see I shot her twice and now she's leaving. So you just have to kind of predict when she's charging at you. And I generally, when she's not charging at me, but her health bar's there, I aim for the end crystals. I never hit them, except for right there you can see I actually was like crazy sniper mode there, and I actually hit that end crystal, which I was super surprised about that. And I was really nervous now because I felt like it was going to be a good run, and it was, other than the fact that I didn't finish it. But, the small victories. So I continue pillaring over, and I actually got lucky. She only charged me twice, and I hit an end crystal on my way over, so I got pretty lucky on the way over. That's one of the biggest sections I die at most of the time, is coming over to the island. Then here, this is one of my favorite parts of the run. Actually, the whole end is my favorite part of the run. But I aim for the end crystals there. I was really low. There, I hit it. It looked right to me, that arrow, but it hit it anyway, so I took the victory and destroyed it. So again, this is one of the random parts of the run. The island in the end always stays the same, but the pillars and the height of them is different. It's like the pillar's height and thickness. So if you get lucky, you'll have like 2 crystals, and you'll have really short towers, and you can destroy them easily. Here, I'd say I got about medium luck. I got, I think there's like 5 crystals, and they're all pretty, tall, but, if you get them really close together, now here my timer, I actually managed to like somehow move it, but you guys can't see that. But then here I actually got lucky because these crystals were close enough together that, I shot one and they both exploded. Again, though, the dragon, how many times she charges you here is luck, and you don't want her to run at you right now because you have to shoot her off course. But now, after I've destroyed the crystals, I want her to run at me, and you'll see why. If you haven't guessed what the beds are for yet, you're about to find out. So here she's charging, and I blow up the bed, and you can see that's what the beds are for. I just dealt a bunch of damage to her. You can see she's about 3/4 health now. And that actually wasn't a very good bed placement, but it's okay. It's just like a guessing game, though, and here she came at me from a bad angle. I wasn't ready. And I wanted to regain some more health. But, it really makes a difference. If you wait half a second can make the difference between dealing half of her total health and dealing 1/4 of it. It really makes a difference, when your timing is. So I have to place a block down. That was a really good hit, and I was not expecting it to be because she came at me kind of awkwardly. But I have to place that block down because if there's no block in front of you, then you take a lot of damage and you most of the time die. So there has to be some sort of block in front of you. Otherwise, the bed will kill you. So here, I'm always really worried about angering an Enderman after that, because you do take a lot of damage from the beds. So, it is really nerve-wracking. But, here all of this is luck. I just have to wait for her to charge at me again, so, I'm just waiting for that to happen. And right now she's not being very friendly. And I'm getting really nervous because I know if she charges at me really fast, then I'll be able to get a personal best time. But, she just wasn't charging me. So now it's just like a waiting game for her to come at me more, and I can place these beds down and kill her. But now I place that block down waiting for her to come. And if you're down a block, I used to dig a hole, but it's much faster to just it's much faster to just place a block in front of you than digging a hole, because Instone takes a bit to destroy. Here, I didn't know that she was charging at me, and she was too high anyway, so that bed wouldn't have helped. Now, I've been waiting here for like a minute, and still she hasn't charged me, except for that kind of weird hover over me. That wasn't really a charge, I don't think. Here, she came at me like super close, so there was no way that I could have got time for that. So now I knew that I wouldn't have any way of getting a personal best, but I wanted to finish so that I can make this video. But it turns out I didn't even need a finish to make this video. Here I thought she was charging me, so I put a bed down, but she didn't, so now I'm just waiting. I still just kind of want to finish now. And here I can tell she's charging at me. I'm waiting. I blow up the bed, and I did not expect that to do so much. I set myself on fire, so I use my water. Again, the reason you need a water bucket. It's very important to have one. It can save your life a lot of times in the end. But, then I'm just waiting for her to charge me again. I know, and at this point, I got hope back. I was like, well, if she charges me again and I get a good bed, then, I can do, do it, basically. I was trying to think about what I was saying. So I got another good bed there, and I was like, okay, all she needs to do is come near me and I can blow her up. And then, what do you know, she comes at me again. But I waited too long, and she actually broke the bed. So that's one of the things. If you wait too long, she breaks the bed. So all I would have had to do there is wait, like, maybe, I don't know, 0.2 a second earlier. And if I would have clicked 0.2 a second earlier, she would have been killed, and I would have won. But there, she charged me at a weird angle, and I was just trying to blow her up. I knew that I wasn't going to get a best now, because I was already slower. You can see it's 21 minutes, 30 seconds now. And I knew I wasn't going to get a best, but I really just wanted to do it. And I tried to blow up that bed. It didn't work. So now I'm just waiting for her to charge again so that I can finish the run. And here I was trying to place a leaf down, but I accidentally was on water. Now I'm just waiting for her to charge me again. And she's still not being very cooperative. Here I tried it. I blew it up. And she just wasn't close enough. Here I'm at a half heart. And I was like, I thought that was the end of the run there, but, I ate an apple, and, being careful not to look at Enderman, tried to regain my health, and she just charged at me, and I didn't have my bow and arrow ready. And so I died. But you can see, she just has a tiny sliver of health left, like, just a tiny bit of health left. So, that is the run. Hopefully I will get a video here to you soon of me actually getting a best, or at least finishing a run, and you can see that, and you can see me beat Minecraft in hopefully under 20 minutes or so. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you tune into the next episode when it's online.